Right, so what we want to do is we want to create our own custom Google sign-in button. We already have done the UI for it, and if you use Clerk Elements, then the connection already happens, so you don't really need to worry about that. So let me just comment this one out for now. And I want to say this one is just Google button, sign-in button, something like that. Let me save this. We need to uncomment this function here. So now this section here, we need to create a Google sign-in function. So at the top level, what I'm going to do is create a folder called utils. And in here, I'm going to create a file called authentication.ts. So this is where all of the authentication functionality will go into. Let me copy this and I'm going to say export const handle Google sign in, and we'll just use this for now. So now this is a sign in resource, which is a type, and this comes from Clerk itself. So let me just quickly import that type in right at the top here. And then we need to await sign in, which again, this await sign in will also come in from Clerk as well. So let's just keep that as it is. Let me just quickly save this. Now this will error out, but what we want to do is we want to import in this Google sign in, which is the function we have, but we need is loaded, and we also need sign in coming from Clerk. So this is essentially where we pass everything in from Clerk, and that is done via a hook. And before we use Clerk, but now what we want to use is something called use sign in, like this, and this comes from Clerk itself at the top here, Clerk Next.js. So now we have access to sign in, which is a sign in resource, and is loaded, which is a boolean, and also import in this Clerk type as well. So let's go add that type in. So now that's all of that set. So now in our Google sign in function over here, first of all, if there's is loaded and is sign in is not there, then we want to return. So that's fine. Then we can add a console log as well, just saying attempting Google sign in, something like that. We don't need a try catch in this scenario because we can just use the sign in method to chain a dot then on as well. So, or we can just copy this section over here. If I save this, now what we need is the strategy. So authenticate with redirect, and there's one element missing, which is the redirect URL complete. So let me just save this. So the strategy is OAuth Google. The redirect is to the dashboard. And again, the complete redirect is the dashboard as well. So when we sign in, it authenticates with the redirect. It uses our Google information, and then it navigates us to the dashboard. So that's essentially what would happen. If there's an error, you can put in here error.message, something like that, or we can just pass in the error like so. This again is optional because it has to be instance of type error. So we can just quickly fix this with Copilot. So let it cover all of this for us. So now that is the Google sign-in function complete. Let's go into the sign-in page. You can see everything is all set. I also want to mention that later on we will be covering the custom sign-in method, so email address and password, and then we do need the capture for that, so we'll look at that later. But let me just save this. So now if I click sign in here now, I can click the Google sign in button. If you scroll down, it says nothing's happening. So why is nothing happening? Let me just check on the sign in page. If we scroll up, it says div on click handle Google sign in. So let's just do a button actually, Command X, and then this one will be a button. Here we go. So on click handle Google sign in. Let's save that. And then this will be a button. So let me just refresh. Attempting Google sign in, you can see. And then it navigates us to the dashboard page, which is correct. At the minute, we haven't created the dashboard page, but you can see here, if I go back to the home page as well, it says you are signed in. You can go to the dashboard. You have our information in here. If we click sign out, again, you can see this is the custom Google sign in page as well. What I'm also going to do is just comment back in the Google button. So you have two ways of doing this. This way is with Clerk Elements, and then the other way is with the actual custom function with custom function, and that is in the utils folder over here. So now I can save that, and now we have created our own custom Google sign-in. So that's if you didn't have Clerk Elements in place. So now you can see we signed in, we have all the information of the user as well in here. So You can get the image and many other things in here, but that is essentially how you would do that. Right, so what I want to do next is create the sign up page. So let me go into sign out. In here, we would sign out. We're in the Creator Hub. Let me click the sign up page. This page isn't created, so I want to do that one next.